All right, guys, we are back here. Continuation of day 2 Sunscreen Film Festival with our friend Jenna.
Hello, I'm Jenna Jane. Good to see you guys again.
Yeah, it's only been what? Well, it's been a few months, though, hasn't it? A couple months. Yeah, absolutely. No,
Life about it.
I mean, but at this range, our aim's bound to improve. So
Good one. And I see what you did.
Yeah.
With the puns. That was pretty quick.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like you got one back all the time.
all the that's a on the Rolodex says go to now.
Yeah. He's got it on AI on his phone.
Yeah,
Just-
on AI.
He's got a little earpiece in his ear. Say this now. Good win. Haha.
What if it was like an implant that you had that like just
And it-
fed you puns all day?
Yeah, and it just overloaded, and
They're
then
all trash.
but my face would go blank once I said them. You don't always have to go. You don't always have to go that way. Wait, I mean, hold on.
I thought that was just his face.
No, that is
yeah,
just
that's
the face.
that's true too.
It is.
You know, yeah.
Now we
We don't like to talk about it.
We don't-
to make some.
We
make
don't
some-
tell
I
it.
don't like to talk much. I
No,
We don't bring it up in front of it.
That's the microphone.
Yeah,
I hate talking.
yeah, I was always told I had a face for radio, so.
I'm gonna say nothing.
And a voice, and a voice for silent
And then we
movies.
went to YouTube, and then
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
I'm
Anyway.
a voice actor though, so I don't know what that says normally. I'm,
Yeah,
also, I'm
yeah.
also an on-camera and stage actor. So
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
it's everything. But like,
Well, you're like the whole package. You write, you do the you do the voice acting, you do on stage. It's just it's the whole package, Jenna.
totally, absolutely, and tap dance. That's not true.
And tap dance.
You don't want to see that.
I was gonna say we could do like a little Shirley Temple thing here
You guys believe me for like half a second.
I totally did.
for a split second.
I
Yeah.
could see it. I could see the little twinkle in your eye. Now let me ask: did you want to tap dance at one point?
Absolutely
Okay.
Never a desire of mine. Not that I have anything against tap dancers. I don't want you guys to think this is like an anti-tap dance crusade.
It's just not for
If
me.
that's the worst thing that was ever said on this show,
Yeah.
that would be a problem. We're gonna get the anti-tap dance alliance against us here.
Yeah, but what is the worst thing that's ever been said on this show?
I can't say it again. I didn't want to.
Well, us and the censors and our HR department that doesn't exist. But
I thought you guys were anytime.
but yeah,
So,
we do.
well, I'm not gonna say exactly what was said, but I will give you a slight background that happened last year
Okay.
at the film festival. There was a film that was showcased.
Time.
I can
Yes,
see this
but back at the
almost sitting in the exact same space. There was a movie that was showcasing. It was called Jeebus.
Oh my.
And
Wait, I think I saw like some of the promotional imagery for that one.
so let's just say that the creator and director of it was very unique, very energetic, very high energetic. Like it looked like it was more than just Diet Coke running through a system. Let's just be nice about it like that. So
He had original recipe.
we go through the interview and we start out, and, we came kind of give him the pre-emphasis, like, hey, it's just laid back, kind of like we did with you when we first interviewed. Hey, it's laid back. We're going to have some questions. We're going to, deep dive and then just freelance it from there, go from there. So we get in there, we do our introductions, and he said, tell us your name. And he says his name very, very bluntly, just,
Monotone.
yeah. And then he said, so what brings you here? I made a movie.
Made a movie.
And what's it called? It's called this. And he was messing with us. So then he gets his energy, and then he goes into where I found out that he had more than Diet Coke running through his veins. But it was the final thing he said, which is the only time I've ever cut anything out of any of what we do. So I'll edit the background audio. Like I clean up audio.
Yeah.
I always like leaving everything in. I don't think I've ever once in 5 years. In the 5 years,
We have like when someone has
when they've asked me, they say,
we
hey,
had
I
someone
forgot.
ask, if they've got a project coming up and
Yeah.
they're like, we've mentioned it, but
Yeah.
then they go back and they say, hey, actually we can't talk about it yet.
By their request.
Yeah,
By-
exactly,
But
yeah.
never have I ever
We have-
cut anything out unless somebody requested it. And that's only been twice. I had to cut the last, and it was so hard to do because he said the words so quickly that it was like I had to zoom into the millisecond and sit there for an hour to trace it because the screen's only this wide. But as I'm zoomed in, I got this much. I'm scrolling. I'm like, okay, cut there. And I can't say what he said,
Okay.
but it started. It's
On
I'm
cam.
glad.
yeah. Even then, I think it still comes out pretty bad. That's a,
Okay. All right.
I'll
There
tell
is
you
no
off.
language. There is no language that makes this better.
Yes, I will tell you offline once we're done recording because I don't want to say it again. But yes, I will tell you what was actually said once we're
I
done
don't
recording.
pressure you anymore.
Oh no, I love the stories because we've had a
Please
lot of
poke the
very
bear.
interesting stories.
It means I don't have to do it.
I will say one of the funniest things we've ever had on the show was now the years are all blending now, but it was when we had Sarah Paulson.
Rachel Paulson.
Or Rachel Paulson.
Sarah Paulson's sister.
Yep. And so Rachel was on here, and her friend, a great piece.
She was an actress, and they had a short film. I can't remember the name of that right now.
That's a weird.
I know it.
Yeah, it is. It's a work in progress.
It's actually I do. It's off the tip of my tongue, but I do know it's kind of a dirty thing, if I remember correctly. Like
It was. I think it was like 15 minutes, if that.
yeah, but it was
Yeah, they were talking about a scene that they had in there.
because we were asking what the funniest or what the most interesting thing or funniest thing that ever happened.
So then they go to talking about, a nude scene that they shot in the movie between.
But you're missing the best thing is how they were introducing it. And
Oh, yeah.
the one was saying, I guess it might be the vagina story,
Yeah.
and that just opened up like, what are we talking about here?
But
And now,
now are we going back to the vagina monologues? Or-
and they were back and forth with it.
yeah.
And this was their story. They brought it up, so we're like, okay. And then the one girl's like, no, we shouldn't tell that. We should, you know what? Just tell it. Yeah, no, it's the vagina story. And
It was about 3
yeah,
minutes of
yeah.
whether or not they should
Yeah.
tell us.
Right.
Should we divulge it? I don't
A
know.
lengthy debate.
I know. Yeah. If it's not done within 60 seconds,
Yeah.
come on.
Speaking of which, I just watched a film this morning at like 9 a.m. in the Florida Shorts block where a peach got finger banged on camera.
A what?
A peach, like a literal.
Okay, I didn't know if it said peach or quiche.
No.
Either way, it probably would have been equal.
Yeah.
Either way.
Quiche would be worse, but anyway.
I was like, "Good morning, everyone."
And-
Way to start off the festival, y'all. That is a little early for my taste. But
Happy Friday. That's what we get as we were walking around here. A lot of people were like, "Happy Friday, Happy Friday."
See,
they all watched the peach.
I think
I was
the
gonna
peach
say,
has the
Tony-
happiest
Tony-
Friday so far. I mean,
Tony, we didn't need the coffee. We needed the movie.
all right, so now we know the level.
Yeah.
It literally said the first.
We know the level
was
everybody
gonna
else
set
is
the
on. We
tone.
got to
Yep.
try to get back to the level.
Bet you didn't anticipate the phrase finger bang.
No.
Um.
This conversation.
Well, I don't know you that well, but yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Listen, I don't know. You guys might be delicate.
You watch your damn mouth around us.
So we had a guy. It was the first year, I think. No, second year. It was Shane Brady.
Yes, Shane.
Remember, so he's friends of a lot of the people that hold the podcast. And when he first came up, wild guy, really fun, like super cool guy. And before we started, he's like, "Is this a fuck or no fuck podcast?"
Yeah.
We're like, "It's kind of we're not regulated by the FCC, so
Loaded question.
yeah."
It's like, well, first off, you've said it twice, and if you ask him personally,
What are you asking?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my,
What kind of
it's got a little warm in here.
That's
Yes. Well, my.
That's it. He's gonna use that at 9 this morning.
Listen, those theaters are chilly, and
That's
Run it
that's
back out.
yeah. I saw some people bringing in like towels and blankets in here, and I'm like, why are they? Well,
That's for
it was for little kids. Oh yeah,
They need to cover the kids'
That was
eyes.
definitely for the peach movie.
Now that would have been funny if the parents didn't know what the movie was going to be, and they had kids with them, and they had to
Or you
explain
walk
that.
into the theater and there's ponchos on each seat.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Is this a splash zone?
It is now.
Is this Evil Dead the musical? What's going on?
See, I was going to date myself a little bit and be like, "Is this like a Gallagher concert or something?" You'd probably don't remember that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
History lesson.
Gallagher's an old comedian, and he always ended his shows where he had a big sledgehammer thing called the Sledge-O-Matic, and he always like just smacked watermelon. So
He would pound the
yeah, so people always, if you went to one of his shows, if you sat the first 5 rows, you had to wear like this poncho thing because they always knew the Sledge-O-Matic was coming out.
You got like a watermelon smoothie for free.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's delightful.
Order mine without seats.
Yes. So, you're here at the film festival.
I am.
That was an interesting start to your short walk there.
Yeah, that was wild. Actually, there was another really great film. I'm blanking on the name right now. I think it was called Clarity, about the lavender scare.
Okay.
And I was just blown away by, I mean, the acting, the production value. Basically about this mission that happened to remove homosexual students and faculty from universities, including here in Florida. And I was just blown away by that one. That's my favorite thing I've seen so far.
Okay.
I am really looking forward to, I think it's tonight, a screening of A New Wave. It is a documentary made by local filmmakers about the beach theater in St.
Yeah.
Really good friends with the owner, Hannah Hockman, shout out girl. And she's amazing. And what she and her family did to rehabilitate this landmark, a beach theater, is just so incredible. What a gift to this community and the love and care that they put into that place. And just seeing it doing so well now
Yeah.
and becoming such a part of, continuing that legacy and bringing it into its new chapter.
If I'm not, is that in Pasadena?
St. Pete Beach.
St. Pete Beach. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you know where Gulf to Bay, or I'm sorry, Gulf Boulevard, it stops, and you have to take that right to get back on Gulf Boulevard.
Yeah.
Past Treasure Island.
Exactly.
It's on the next street over. I
Okay,
think
that's
Beach Drive, isn't it?
It's on Beach Drive.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, Beach Drive, right.
It's incredible.
Mhm.
Incredible.
I was walking by when it was still in the renovation stage. It was last year sometime. They were doing one of the markets there, the Sunday markets, and I walked by. I've read all about it, and well, now that I know that you know her, you might want to be able to get her to come join us on an episode one time. Because I thought it would be great to do an episode down there.
Yeah.
Like record it at the
Go
theater.
to the theater. Yeah.
It's a gorgeous venue, like very Art Deco, very cool. My favorite part, they have speakers in the bathrooms.
Oh.
So you can still hear that, not the other way around.
They have speakers, not microphones.
Very special experience.
We heard you, and you didn't wash your hands.
No, you can still hear the movie if you need to use the restroom in the middle of that. And I just think that's just smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, because who hates when they miss like a good part of something, you know?
Who's excuse me, what's the studio size? So they have 2 free screeners, or are they
One screen.
just one screen?
One screen.
Okay.
And they do live performances there as well.
Oh,
They
excellent.
renovated, they expanded the stage
Mhm.
to accommodate more live performances. They did a new play festival last year. They're bringing it back this year. They have bands that perform there. I think they also rent it out for events.
Like, yeah, venue
Corporate
events.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
We actually did a sunscreen, our very first sunscreen networking event last year that was outside of the festival. We hosted it there at the Beach Theater.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just a gorgeous venue, and if you love movies, it's like just the best place to watch a film.
Well, and being a Florida native here, and to the St. Petersburg native, for me, I mean, I remember when that theater before it was taken down, and I remember the theater when, before it went through all that stuff. So I went to it a couple times back in the day. So that's why I was saying, yeah, if you know her, I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Absolutely,
Reach out, and you can come join us too. Come on down.
she's a force on her own.
Okay. Well,
She's amazing.
you tell us what other fruit movies you watched recently. Yeah.
Hopefully not that many. I don't know. It was a neat experience.
This just brings me back to Elf, and they're like, "What's more vulnerable than a peach?"
I've seen Elf like once, so I'm not with you on that
Oh.
joke.
Well, the whole thing is premised around their book that they're trying to create for kids, and they're focused on like vegetables. So it's like a tomato, and then they follow an asparagus who's concerned about the way his pee smells. Yeah. So this other guy.
All the backstory.
Exactly. So a guy comes in with a pitch, and he's got like a whole book of them, and they go through it, and they're basically like spying on his book, and they're like, oh, well, this one looks a pitch looks good, let's go with it. And he was talking about like all their ideas, how they were terrible and they were so vulnerable. It's like, really, a peach isn't vulnerable? So that was the turnaround.
Well, you know,
And I'm done.
popped into my head was that scene in Face Off when they first changed over and they have to get their voices
He's doing, I
changed.
could eat a peach for
I can eat a peach for
So,
hours.
like,
Yeah, because that was the phrase that Nicolas Cage would say because they're trying to change their voices.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you never seen Face Off? John Travolta, Nicolas Cage, they literally take their faces off and swap them.
Oh my God, that title makes so much.
Yes, his face
I
off.
Now I know.
It's not just a clever title,
Yeah, that's true.
It's quite clever.
It's literally a working title.
but that was the Nicolas Cage character he would always eat peaches. He'd be like, I could eat a peach for hours. And it was just they had to repeat the phrase for him to get the voice boxing that they inserted into him for it.
Yeah, because they're doing like a
voice.
computer program,
Yeah.
changing the pitch and everything.
Yeah.
That's how they said it worked. So Jenna, I understand that you have also done some, work here recently. Is there anything that you could share on the project that you've recently done filming on? And
Yeah, I would love to talk about it. I'm shooting a series right now called Unbalanced, and it is with Bouncy Boxer Media, local filmmaker, female filmmaker. And it is a series about a guy who has just been through a divorce and is struggling with body issues in the wake of that divorce. So he decides to join a yoga class full of women. and to help with his body image issues. And I play the ex-wife, so I don't get to do any yoga. Honestly, probably the best. But yeah, casting on the ex-wife, the one who got away. So we're still shooting it and working on the editing process right now. So
Yeah, excellent.
it's really cool. It's a really cool concept, and everybody's really great to work with.
Now, because I remember last time we talked, you're working on the vampire project, right? So can you bring up anything about that or any progress on it?
Nothing I can talk
Okay.
about officially right
Okay.
now. I am still in the revision stage in it.
Okay.
I did a major rewrite on it recently. I'm staring down the barrel of another one. I usually take about a year to work on rewrites and revisions,
Okay.
development. But hopefully some news on that coming soon, but nothing I can talk about yet.
Okay.
Very exciting. So, and just for anybody who didn't see the previous episode that I was on, first of all, big mistake, huge.
Yes.
Fangs is I'm also a playwright. Fangs is a play that I wrote. It's a vampire comedy. And it's, I call it a vampire comedy served family style. And it's an allegory for interfaith marriage.
Okay.
So,
I like it.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, when you get closer and you can start giving us info, we have to follow up with us and
I will.
let us know what the progress is.
Absolutely will. Yeah.
That's one of the other fun things about this is whether we meet people here or we meet them outside like we did with you and have, separate interviews, being able to get that follow up, be like, oh yeah, I finished that, or I did do this, or we're working on this next thing. So that's always a fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's a privilege for us also to like kind of see that completion and then like, finally get the, we kind of feel the same way you do of like, we were, we had that little bit of time with you with the process and like, it's finally done. It's here.
I wish it was already done. Unfortunately, I'm a chronic reviser. I just keep going back in and tinkering. But I think that
they take time.
yeah, I think that's good. I think that having patience and the openness to learn from other brains being on the project is the wonderful thing about whether it's theater or film. It's such a collaborative media.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard somebody say once, if you don't want to collaborate, write a book.
There you go.
And I think that says it all. Like being able to get other brains on a project, you learn so much by hearing and seeing how other people play. We're able to play with your work and, what their own unique perspectives bring to it. And, there's an idea I may have 2 years from now that I don't even know about yet that could influence play. So, I'm in it for the long haul. So, not trying to rush anything and even comedy.
Don't rush comedy.
Yeah.
You can't do it, man.
Can I bring up one other thing that happened this week?
Absolutely. Yes, please.
Okay,
Please.
so just this week, I found out that I was nominated for 2 One Voice Awards.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm really excited.
Congratulations. Is that award here in Florida?
So it's I was competing against voice actors nationwide in Canada.
Okay.
So it's a really competitive award.
Yes.
And I just found out this week I got nominated for Best Voiceover Newcomer. So that is for voiceover artists who did their first professional voiceover job in 2025.
Nice.
And for Outstanding Live Event Announcer for a curtain speech that I did for a local theater in downtown St. Pete.
Very full.
Yeah, and I would love to do more of that work, live event announcing. I think it's so fun. I just love playing off an audience and getting excited about what they're about to see. So, and
It's nice.
Excellent.
It's almost like that warm-up person that when they do the late night talk shows that you don't see ever. It shows behind the scenes. They get the audience warmed up and they're like talking to them, getting them built up, get that energy flowing. Or like an MC at a comedy show. You're just getting everybody's blood pumping.
Right.
I think it's such an important part of the process to be like, and it's so underrated. And when people actually make the effort to come out to a live performance
And to bring that vibe out of people.
yes, to get them out of their house.
Mm-hmm.
And they have come together in community to experience a story together. That's such a special moment. And the moments leading into it to be able to like, okay, this is what you're here for. Like, we're about to experience this together. I think it's just such a special thing part of.
Oh, yeah. And that's also kind of, the big theme, like how the Sunscreen Film Festival is. 'Cause you said this is your first year, right?
First year.
Okay.
Despite the fact
Well-
that I've been organizing networking events for like a year.
But actually being here,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was, and I
Your first year and your first movie was The Peach. Wow.
yeah.
my first vlog. Yeah, it was quite a welcome. Actually, no, I saw the opening film last night, so that's a lot.
Oh, okay.
Which was wonderful. But yeah, I was supposed to come last year. I had tickets and everything, but I wound up booking a gig for the opening day, and then I had rehearsals all that weekend. One musical I was in, so I wasn't able to make it. So
That's a shame. You could have met the guy that did Jeebus.
that's
Yes.
Yeah.
a bummer.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It
Splendidly.
Oh, that thing, it would have been phenomenal.
Maybe there's still time.
You never know. He might show up. I mean,
Here, and you just
if-
don't know yet. You guys are all the way up here.
he might make this.
oh, he knows.
Oh, he'll find us.
Yeah.
Meander up here.
As we like to say, we were the second gunman on the mezzanine.
Yeah. Okay, his second movie's next biblical one is called Moses. Moses.
Moses. It's yeah.
Jeebus.
Jeebus was
I get it now.
yeah.
I know.
That's
It's a little bit of explaining, but
Yeah.
that's all right. We'll get there.
jokes are funnier when you have to explain that.
I know, right?
That's all.
All right, carry the one.
Or a slow listener.
So Patrick's not here, but we'd make fun of him just as much if he was. So that would just like kind of like extreme math.
There's like an element that was missing this time. It's
Yes.
hard to
Yeah, he had to work today. He couldn't get off. So
explain.
I know that's what we said.
Needs to make fun.
I know. What's up with this whole job?
It's called salary jobs. Whether I'm there or not, I get paid. But
Same.
I also sometimes have to work way later
And,
sometimes
yeah.
on my regular
Yeah.
days, and I don't get paid anymore. But you know what?
Been there.
Ups and downs, goods and bads. It all balances out. So yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff. But there's going to be the after events are always fun. Here, just a lot of great people, and like I said, what you were saying earlier, it is everybody experiences this whole thing together. Like you see all these newcomers. It's funny. We almost feel like we're almost like part of the welcoming committee now. After
Yeah.
5 years of doing it,
That's
because
true.
everybody down there, like we're all kind of
Knows
a
us
family
now,
every time we
yeah.
come in. So we walked out. You guys do it all right? Yeah. You need anything? No, we're good. So when people come up here, we say, hey, make sure you check this out. This out.
Do you
this
mind
out.
if we put our easel right by your board?
Yeah, right. Put our faces right next to your
right
table.
next to you.
It's a little uncomfortable, but okay.
That's a whole lot staring you down as you enter in.
That's a lot of blue.
That's a whole lot of blue you got there.
That's a whole blue poster right there, man.
So, do you guys get to experience any of the screenings or the parties or anything?
So we've
Fun fact.
been involved in some of the screening before. So like the selection process that goes to having
Before the film festival
Yeah.
comes out.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah.
And we give our opinions on it, on some of them here and there. But we haven't actually, as far as the actual events, except for the after parties. Like
Yeah.
we go to those because, we're not recording then. And probably that's for the best because God knows when we ended up picking up
Oh.
there. But we have
I forgot to tell you something.
in the past. So for us, it's been an evolution. So the very first year I think it was the first day was me and Patrick.
Yep.
And we had just met, or I just reconnected with Tony because I knew him from years before. He helped me work on film stuff back in my 20s. And so we reached out. We had just started the podcast. You got Tony on as a guest when he was still the film commissioner. He said, yeah, come on out to the film festival. So I said, where do we go? And he's like, just, I don't know, tell them what you want to do and just go do it. And so it was very randomly put together.
Laissez-faire and
And then the second year, we upped it a little bit. And then we started just, setting up a little better. And then we got to know some people. And then year 3 is really when everything just started flowing in.
we actually had
and
lights
yeah.
and a banner.
cameras and action.
Yeah,
and
cameras.
stuff.
These clips, wow, incredible.
Yeah, I know they're wonderful. But it was fun
fun
because when we started doing the webcam, so the second year we were here, we got to meet. There's a group that in the high school block, really great kids. Probably still to this day, some of my favorite interviews. These kids were awesome. The ring they were going down to, it was Dixie Hollins.
Yes, Dixie M. Hollins.
And so a lot of them were seniors. There were some juniors and seniors. Got to meet them, had the whole table full of all these kids. Didn't know you were talking to kids. I mean, it was like you were talking to all these other adults. And
Yeah, you
very professional
figure
filmmaker.
yeah, seasoned veteran. Like okay.
And so we didn't have the camera on at that point. It was year 3. They were back again. They found us on Instagram. They said, hey, are you guys back at the film festival? The same class, same teacher. brought it back up. Well, some of them had graduated and gone to Ringling School. And so, but they were doing like the college block, but they had their other high school kids. So the kids come up, find us. They all remembered us from the year before. And one kid's like, "Oh, you guys got cameras now too."
Gosh,
It's
it's
like, so everybody
up in the world.
and then the year after that, someone said, "Oh, you guys got lights now." Like it's been an evolution. We've grown together. So
Yeah.
and it was really cool to like get to see them and listen to them talk about like their college or what they're going to do next. One girl was going over to Europe.
Yeah.
She's like, "Well, I've decided I'm just going to do photography in Europe." I'm like, "Oh, just going to do photography in Europe. Okay, whatever."
So,
Yeah, that's it. You know.
whatever.
But no, phenomenal group of
Brush
kids.
my hair inside.
So we've evolved, but yeah, after like as it's gone on, now we've gotten to know people more and more. So, but every year it's always been, we record Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Sunday's usually like our half day kind of winding down because this film festival's kind of winding down at that point. But this year, to kind of engage in some of this stuff, we just said, you know what, let's do Friday and Saturday, get as many interviews as we can, and Sunday we'll still come up to the film festival. We can just kind of veg out with it, just kind of check out whatever workshops or whatever films, and kind of just really get to see what everybody.
Actually get to participate.
Yeah.
That one year.
Yeah.
Because it's a great thing, and we love hosting interviews. But so many times that we get so many hours worth of
Yeah.
interviews that in between Friday and Saturday, you sometimes don't even need so that.
Yeah.
But the only downside is Sunday is usually the easiest time to get some of the people that do the volunteering and hosting the event, and we love talking to them as well because most of them are filmmakers anyway. Like almost everybody involved in this thing, whether it's
Has like
volunteering.
private projects or has worked on a project for
Yeah.
Sunscreen. Yeah.
Yeah, like Cameron was working on something with Key West with Tony this year.
Yep.
Oh, the pirate.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So Cameron, I can't remember how to pronounce his last name, but he's downstairs. He's one of the guys. He's been doing this for years. We've met him ever since the first time we were here.
Yeah. Yeah. He was probably the second, outside of Doug and Ben, the second person we met
Yeah.
on the
Yep.
four.
Yeah. And so yeah, but that's-
I use Doug and Ben as one person because they basically are
yeah,
one person.
yeah. When we the first year we did this, it was when nobody knew because Tony just said do whatever you want, like just kind of do your thing, and so we did, but it was like by Sunday, like Doug and him, Brian, Big B, Brian Williams, he was coming up here, so he was like the social media director, whatever, Doug's the programming director, Ben was the, I can't remember, he did a lot of like the introductions and stuff.
Yeah. Several of the
something like that.
announcements
Yeah.
for the I'll get there eventually.
You got there.
Yeah. But
Red leather, yellow leather, red leather.
You gotta do those warm ups.
I know.
But yeah, by that first year, by Sunday, they were coming up and like looking at us, and then we were going downstairs. We were packing up, and they're like, "Who are you guys?" And we're like, "Oh, you didn't know?" And he's like, "Oh no." They thought it was really cool. They're like, "Oh, you guys are doing this? We've never had a podcast here before." I'm like, "It's a film festival going on for like at that time it was 17 years."
Yeah. Hence why when we made the shirts, I made us put the podcast guys on the back.
Well, that actually, if you remember, that came from the girl that we met the second year,
Yeah, she was. Oh man, I can't remember her
Miranda.
name.
Miranda went
Yes,
down.
yes. She's like, you guys are just the podcast guys, right? It's like, yes.
I guess you better
So-
hope a woman never joins your team. Otherwise, she's gonna have to be a podcast guy as well.
Well, we could be the podcast people,
Bummer.
Dang it.
podcast guys and gals. I know it's too long.
What's the screening process like? You guys said that you do screening for some of the films. Does help decide what goes into the festival? What's
So yeah, it comes back in, and it's to be honest, is really difficult because you could give an opinion on something of like, yes, I think this is a very good film, but for the block maybe it was submitted in, it doesn't really fit, or you could give a mediocre review on something that yes is mediocre, but it's hard like understanding how hard and how much work people put into it. You're like, but this is really good, not for us.
yeah.
Give it a little more work and then come back. But we want you to come back, and that's the hard part. That's the real hard.
They will give the filmmakers that feedback.
Not the
we don't give it
we,
to them.
we pass it up to the. Thankfully, we don't have to reach out to anybody.
So ultimately, what the breakdown is, when you have the meeting, you're signed up with them. It's kind of like Connect Through Film Freeway. You get an account through there, and then what they do is they just assign you. So you just get assigned like 10 films. Usually, it's a mixture, a good portion of like short films. Could be anything from like a 2-minute short to a 20-minute short, maybe half hour. Then you get a full-length feature, different types. They try to kind of ask you questions beforehand to kind of get a feel of what you're into. and then that way they kind of stay within your wheelhouse a little bit.
Horror, if you hate horror.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
Patrick got 0 horror.
but then so you get this block and you watch them, you let them know when they're done. But they have like a general rating scale, like on a scale of 1 to 10, for the directing, the cinematography, the audio, the writing, the acting. But then there's a section to give description, and they want you to be as descriptive as possible. So like you don't want to just say, I didn't like the movie, it wasn't for me. Well, why? Well, because I like period pieces. But this one felt a little forced, and I didn't believe that the actors sold the part that well. Like they want to give you detail like that, and I am just in the same agreement. Like, give me good feedback. Like I don't care if you tell me this whole thing needs to be redone. Just give me the specifics why, and I'll be happy to make those adjustments as much as it fits within my vision. But yeah, and then go from
Have
there.
constructive criticism if I see one more lens flare.
Yeah, yeah. But then and then you send it back, and then you submit that what your response is, and then after a while they'll send you more, and then or ask you if you can take more, and then you just kind of go from there. So feedback always goes directly to them, and then there's a section where you say, is it award worthy? Is it film festival worthy? So there's like different categories. Like, would you put it in the film festival? Would you recommend it for an award? And then if so, they also want to give you give another explanation on that. So
It must be so challenging to judge art.
Right.
There can be so many different perspectives. Like different perspectives can totally change how they see the same place.
oh, absolutely.
Exactly.
Well, the nice thing is too is I think that not to toot our own horn here because I never would want to do that.
Toot, baby.
But we've over the past couple of years, we've actually gotten so many filmmakers that we don't know, like from PR firms and stuff from all over the country. They're like, hey, I've got this director. He just got this movie. We'd love you to watch it and review it, and then have them on and talk about it. And we just had the one guy recently. We've got to set it up. I told him film festival's coming up. I'm not going to have time right now, so it'll probably be a month out, but we'll have you watch it. And he wrote in there. It was like this long diatribe. Please, I've listened to you for like a couple of years. I really like you guys' stuff. I've heard you review some other films. I've got this movie out. I was the writer on it. Be my honor if you guys would watch it and give me your opinion, and please feel free to tear it apart as much as possible. And I said, well, first of all, we would never do that. I don't rip apart film, even if it's not my cup of tea, even if I completely hated it.
We've only had one movie that we really did like that, and it was a little harsh, but it's still an art.
You're allowed to have opinions.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I don't think I've ever said anything was garbage. I hated it. I will say, not my style.
Everyone else is now dumber.
Yeah.
The quality of my life.
Well, because you also have to find that fine balance of understanding that, okay, yes, if somebody puts something out there and it's just not good, it could be not good. But at the same time, they put a lot of time and energy into making that. So in their heads, or maybe it was the vision, and when you get out there, like, doing production, it doesn't always come out the way you want, or there may be constrictions that you had that you don't have in your mind, because in your head you can do whatever. So you have to take that into consideration and say, hey, listen, at the end of the day, you made a movie and I did not. So
There's that.
yeah,
You had enough confidence to put yourself out there.
yeah,
And
Where-
the money to do it and control
Exactly.
yourself. And you don't know how personal that story might be.
very true.
Even if it's not as polished as you would expect, or it doesn't have the kind of budget that you would hope
Yeah.
for. You just never know what these stories mean to the people.
Exactly.
reading it.
The only time I'd say there's ever, an amendment to that rule or an addendum to that rule would be if someone purposely puts out a movie and they says that I'm making this to offend people. Like there are filmmakers that do that. Or I want this to be the worst, the grossest thing you've ever seen, and tell me how much you hated it or loved it.
Oh,
That's a different story.
Sorry, Human Centipede too.
You are, yeah. You are purposely telling me you're doing this. Yeah. But if you tell me on purpose that you're making this for people to lash out back at you and tell you about, then that's fair game.
Then, okay.
But again, if you just went from your heart and you made a movie, whether it's horror or suspense or even gore, but if it means something to you and it's a story you want to make and you took the time and you found the money or however you did it, and the people to do it and you got it out there, not a lot of people can do that at the end of the day.
So everybody's art is kind of garbage at first. Like
Yeah.
that's how you
Yes.
learn to make better art.
So I know Tony really doesn't listen to this podcast that much, but so I can say, have you ever seen his first full-length feature?
No, let's talk shit about it.
Have you ever? I'll tell you that you can actually look up the trailer. I think you can find it somewhere, but it's called the movie's called Mandatory Overtime.
Okay.
I remember when I first met Tony and I had brought my script to him.
That phrase right now, but go on. Go on.
It's and he admits he's like, but he's done workshops where he said, make your first movie. It's gonna be bad, but just get it out there,
Do it.
and he still to this day says he's like, yep, that was one of his. But they have you can find the trailer on YouTube. It's called Mandatory Overtime, and it's very indie. Like you could tell, it's very indie.
We should do like a surprise screening of it. That just like tack it on to
Yes.
something we know he's going to be at. Just sneak it in there.
In the awards ceremony when he comes up, it's
Like
like,
the introduction video.
and now to
And now, Tony,
coming to the stage,
but first,
there's more.
And I don't know if it was his official first that he ever was involved with, but I believe it was the first movie that he did, like full on him, like that came from him and his friend or whoever. The one guy, we saw him yesterday, he's the one that played in that movie. We had met him last year. He told
Oh yeah,
and he's like, yeah, I was in that movie Mandatory Overtime. I'm like, I know that movie. Or I said it, he's like, yeah, we don't really talk about that much anymore.
yet here we are talking about
and here we
But
are.
it was 20 something years ago. I mean, I was like 25. Yes, 22 years
It's
ago.
a conversation
Almost
piece
43.
now.
Oh yeah. That's like a coffee table book.
historical artifacts.
Yeah.
Museum piece.
Well, Miss Jenna, what with this being your first year, what was like what drawing you like to come here, and is there anything that you're looking forward to seeing like in the blocks like that you're like really psyched for?
Actually, and I'm doing a time check here. I got about 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, I'm heading into comedy shorts, and I just love comedy. I'm really excited about seeing that. And I love being in a block of shorts because you get so much variety. If something isn't your cup of tea, something else is coming up next. And for our short attention span economy, I think that's really great.
Yes.
And especially when it's comedy, keeps it quick, keeps it quippy, and then you're just moving on to the next thing. So,
Yeah, someone just did a confirmation order through one of the passes here because, as you said, comedy shorts says comedy shorts coming up. I think Rob just ordered it because
Oh,
they're all
okay.
connected to
That's right.
the email. So every time someone sets in to do the pre-screening thing,
their schedules now.
oh, I know exactly what they're doing. So if they're going to watch that Peach movie, I'll know exactly who they are.
Exactly. We know what we saw.
I see you were in Studio 13.
Yeah, we need to talk.
That's
Probably not going to be invited.
Best to let it lie.
Yeah. And for the record, it was a really funny film.
Yeah.
Yeah,
don't
no,
wanna
I
feel
know.
like I'm trash talking. It was so funny. It was just a little bit like, oh,
Oh my.
good morning. Good morning. We're here. We're all having this experience together. Very nice to meet all of you.
There's a short that I found on I want to say it's Instagram, but it was like I'll never look at a leaf again. So it's a leaf falling off of a tree. So it opens up where a leaf is just sitting there, and like his branch where he's attached to the tree
Was that your
cracks.
impression just now? You went,
Yes, that's how he is. He's sitting
good.
he's sitting up straight, and you know how leafies do, and then it breaks, and then it pans out, and all you see is a leaf going like this right here. But then it cuts back into him, and he's like he's free falling, like he just went a swan dive. So like as it's just gently gliding down, but when he cuts back to him, like the tail of the leaf catches on fire, and he's just like just screaming his eyes out, and he finally lands on the pile of leaves, and it cuts out, and like all the leaves are like dead, and like you got them like dying, and they're decaying. I was like,
That's
I don't what I just thought I like fall, but now I don't.
Is that why you moved to Florida?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
That was the deciding factor.
Welcome to Florida, man.
No.
Well, I know you said you got your comedy blog coming up here in a bit that you want to check out, so we won't hold you up on that because we do want to take at least a minute to get a photo with you in
Okay.
front of the banner. That's the common thing we do with everybody. We got to get in front of the banner. So, again, thank you for joining us. You're more than welcome to come up and come see us, throughout the festival, and just come back and chat whenever you want.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was
All
nice to
right.
meet you.
Thank you. Guys, continuation of Sunscreen Day number 2. A lot more coming. Jenna, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you guys later. All right, guys, welcome back to the continuation of Sunscreen Film Festival Day number 2. We're rocking and rolling. We got another set of films people are kind of in the watching right now. We're going to have a break here in a little bit, but we do have another filmmaker here. You know my name, you know Gavin's name. Why don't you introduce yourself?
My name's Hilda, and I have a film at Sunscreen in the college shorts.
Okay. And what's the film called?
It's called So Glad We Never Met.
Okay. So we'll start off. Why don't you tell us a little bit about
Okay, I'll try to come up with a little log line that's in my head.
it?
But it's about a girl called Flossie who has a weird parasocial obsession with a director, an indie director called Quentin Tarantino. And basically, this kind of obsession spirals out of control when she gets the chance to work on his film sets. And it's a satire, comedy, and it has some like horror elements, but it was a lot of fun, and the actress is really great. So I'm excited.
Oh, very cool. Sounds like an interesting, fun little idea there.
So was this short film feature?
It's a short film. It's around 13 minutes.
Okay.
I really wanted to work on the pacing for this one, especially because it's a comedy and it's a horror. Like I feel like fast pacing just works well.
Right.
For that genre. And with my previous film here, like one of the things that I got was the pacing was a little off. So that's something I wanted to work on for this.
So the question I would have is, and this is what we've heard from a lot of filmmakers over the years that have done like, shorts, is that sometimes they like to use them for concepts for a full-length feature. Is that kind of the possible goal for this?
Me and my so Penning's Nadia, she's the producer. She also co-wrote it. We've spoken about the fact that we would love for this film to be turned into a feature length. My original screenplay was 20 pages and it was a bit of a mess, but there are definitely parts I missed out of the condensed version, so that would be cool.
Very cool. And so kind of what brought the idea to it? Like, how did this kind of come into conception?
So I do actually, I study film more academically, and I like to look into fan reception studies. And basically I saw, some feminist films had some really poor reception when it came to like the male fan base. So I was kind of trying to think what female filmmaker would they like? And then that's how like Flossie came to be. She's just this kind of girl fanboy, and when it comes to film, and she tries to replicate what she sees in the media when it comes to male directors, and Quentin Tarantino was a kind of a fun way to address this.
Okay. I like it. And how long did it take? So, because we all know when it comes to production, I have a small history in my younger days. I'm a lot older now, in the production industry, and I do know that sometimes even like short films, they can take a while. So what was the time frame it took to kind of do this from, let's say, pre-production writing to a finished product?
I wrote this after I graduated from my master's, and I just wanted to have something else to do. So that was in May last year. And then we actually ended up filming in October. So I feel like it was a pretty quick turnaround, at least from my standards.
Oh, yeah.
And the filming was over 3 days, but it was very intense. And we had some really long shoots, but I think it turned out pretty good. And the crew ended up being bigger than I had thought. Like lots of people ended up wanting to get involved, and it ended up being a lot of fun. Yeah.
Well, I will say just 3 days, even for a short film, even for 13 minutes, that's still pretty quick. Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty impressive that, you can get that done in that time frame. We had some friends of ours that just did a feature. They did it in 7, and I don't know how they did that one.
Yeah.
But they had from my understanding, they had a pretty large crew too. And I think they were doing like 14-hour days. I mean, like I said, it's long days, long hours.
Yeah, ended up being that long. And we also had some like SFX makeup for the leading girl. Like she had something like weird going on with her head, and we basically had to keep redoing it. And that definitely they didn't take that enough into consideration. But it still turned out really, really great. But I mean, there were so many moving parts to this, especially when it's like you want a horror to be somewhat realistic. Yeah.
Oh, no, absolutely. And you said this is your second year?
Yeah, this is my second year at Sunscreen, and my second film that I wrote and directed.
Oh, very cool. And when is it playing? Wednesday?
It's playing on Sunday at 10 a.m., unfortunately. I guess it's going to wake everyone up. I don't think it's the type of film. It definitely has some like gross elements. So yeah, I'll
Well, that's, sometimes that's good to get the audience engaged. They need that jolt.
because I imagine maybe people will be a little bit tired. So this, maybe if it goes first, it will wake everyone else up.
A little tired, maybe slightly hungover from the awards banquet.
It might be the best thing for him.
Exactly. Yeah.
Better than an espresso shot, just a regular.
You know what? I don't need a Bloody Mary now. So Hilda, where was the film shot?
It was actually shot in Gainesville because I go to UF. So, but actually, I'd previously gone to school in Tampa, so a lot of the crew had come from Tampa. And we actually shot our promotional video for the film in Tampa. We shot it in Sunray, which is a cinema I really like around here when I lived here. And we got to shoot on one of the cinemas there to kind of get people in Tampa involved that we knew. Another reason why we could only film in 3 days is because that's the only time that we were available to come down. Yeah, nearly all of the crew was, I think, from Tampa, and then there were a fair amount from Gainesville too, but I think majority.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, we've been finding there's more and more as Florida's becoming a bigger, especially Tampa, St. Pete area has become a bigger hotspot for film and the film industry, especially ND. Even Hollywood features. I think they just did that shoot with Paul Rudd and Paul Giamatti down there about
Breath for Dances are. Yeah.
Yep.
The period piece.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the area,
Yeah, I'll be like, hey, I'll jump in
work that day.
If you need a guy doing a podcast in your background, hey, I'm your guy, man, because I could just.
I don't think there was much of that in the 80s.
Yeah, no, there wasn't really any of it there.
I don't think that existed yet.
So, what do you think of the film festival? Your experience with Sunscreen here?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Last year was a lot of fun. It was the one of my first film festivals, so that was really cool. I love the Sundial Cinema. I think it's a great cinema. And the people that I've met are really great, and I worked with some people that are here before, so it's been a lot of fun. Yeah.
And you came but if last year was your first year, probably one of the best times. Now every year has been great, and it always gets bigger and bigger. But last year being their 20th, that's a big milestone. So you get to see. Oh yeah, that was a good time. I mean, we had a lot of fun here.
Maybe we're going to the Imagine Museum again.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's tonight. We said right. Yeah.
I'd been meaning to see that in St. Pete, so that was really.
And they're doing the other one at Coastal Creative. Have you been there?
Them
Oh, have you?
So-
Okay. So you're pretty much familiar with the area then.
Yeah. Why not?
Are there any other passion projects or anything in the works for what's next, or are we just kind of, pushing this one through, promoting this one?
I'd
And
like to see how this one goes. I mean, I feel like when you're doing film, you're always thinking of like what you're going to do next, and especially like being in this environment, you want to kind of think about what things you can be inspired by. I remember when I came to Sunscreen last year, I wanted my next film to be a thriller, so I went to the thriller shorts. So I think I want my next one to be a romance comedy, so maybe I'll look into some of the comedies here and stuff. So I have somewhat of an idea, but it's nothing too crazy yet. But this one was also very hectic. If you end up seeing it, you'll understand why. It was a very hectic shoot, so I definitely wanted some downtime after it.
we might be able to see that one this year because normally
we're typically working every day.
Yeah.
which is why we're here. So
yeah. But this year we're going to do Sunday and kind of enjoy the festival ourselves, and still meet and greet with people. But yeah, because I like horror, and it doesn't matter what time of the day.
I think hoping it's
For
more
me.
unsettling.
okay.
Even better,
That's it. We'll see. I'm interested. I think when I've had it screened at one of the festivals so far, and I heard more people. I mean, because it is a comedy, laughing than like screaming. So.
Well, I'm thinking out loud here, and Gavin. So we normally have another co-host with us. He had to work his day job today. He wasn't able to get off. Luckily, like we were, and he is not good with horror.
Yeah.
So what we should do is tell him that it's a super fun and just romantic comedy or something, and get him in there.
And he can't leave once the doors are
That's
closed.
right.
From a perspective, it could be a romantic comedy. Like she does have an obsession with this director, so you could take it as that. So you wouldn't necessarily be lying.
No.
Yeah. I like genre bending, so
It would just be good to get him in there, just get his reaction.
Yeah,
That
to
was-
see him squirm a little bit. Oh,
because we like that kind of stuff. But yeah, he was not so much. As he likes to say, he doesn't like being scared.
yeah.
And I said that's fine. Yeah. So it seems like a lot of what you're saying, you do a lot of research prior, so you come at it from a very academic standpoint, then
Yeah.
very research based, and it sounds like you kind of pull inspiration from that. So, if you were to do, I'm trying to think of so romance comedy, is there something you can kind of compare it to, like compared to something that's already been out there?
Um, I mean, I haven't seen the drama yet, but I'm really curious about that.
Okay.
And I'm interested in how it's like playing with the idea of marriage from what I've seen. How they like what I know is that they're kind of like on a deadline, and then these things are revealed about them. And yeah, so I find that interesting. I recently looked into the remarriage comedy where people like break up and get back together, and like what like leads to that. So I think that would be something that I would be interested in doing. Maybe not like the marriage part, but like breaking up and getting back together, and like we'll find like twists and turns that lead to them getting back together. That would be something interesting to explore.
Okay. And you said you graduated from USF, is that
I
correct?
graduated from USF and now I'm actually doing my PhD in rap
Okay.
film.
In film. Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Is that's very interesting.
I'm more interested in, I think, like teaching and getting involved in like a film school than like going into the industry itself. But like, there is kind of like a gap when it comes to like production professors and the theoretical professors, like being able to do both. Well, that's what I really like to do.
Yeah, the nice thing is, I mean, it used to be, back in the day, like many years ago, there was only a few select schools that did had film studies. Now it's gone all over to all universities, but even local colleges, like just a local, like even like St. Pete College, they have a film program now. You didn't know that? Yeah, they have a digital film and marketing and design program. It's kind of like all encompassed, but you can focus just on the film portion of it for your bachelor's. So it's nice to see that whether you want to reach out, far, go somewhere far, or just stay real local. It sounds like you said you're from the area, so there's plenty of opportunity here. And again, just shooting here, just in this area. So, we've interviewed a lot of people over the years, and, we've interviewed film commissioners here in the area. And I'm not sure if you're aware, do you know that they have the film has a rebate program for filming in the area? Yeah. So they always try to get people to film here and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't think it's just for people from out of state.
Yeah, I think it's any film that
Any film is filmed here.
but it may also come down to the criteria, maybe, the length of the film, also
Yep.
what percentage of like local businesses or things like that you show. But it is something good to look into with the Tampa Film Commission.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, and the Clearwater Film Commission.
Yep.
So I would reach
Yep.
out to both of them because they're the ones that handle, besides just permits and stuff like that. But they'll give you the full details on it. The
good.
one gentleman who was the previous film commissioner here in Clearwater is the guy who started the film festival.
Oh yeah, Tony Armour.
Yeah, Tony Armour.
That name rings.
It should, because every single person here knows him. We've met people at another film festival who introduced us to a girl who we actually just had back up here. We had an interview with her. It was at an animation film festival in Tampa, and then I mentioned that we were coming here. She happened to be linked to doing some of the marketing for this or social stuff. And I mentioned the names, like, oh, I know him. Sometimes it gets to a point where everybody's like, I'm so tired of talking about this guy. But he's a great guy, so it's nothing against him. But it's funny that he is so well known in the area. But it's definitely something just for you to, kind of look into, especially if you want to develop a concept into something full length.
No, definitely. Also, based on what people think about it, I'd be interested to see if they're proving it's feasible. So I think it is feasible to have a future that with us, yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think it's an incentive program as well.
Yeah, incentive.
But
Yeah.
When you get cash, it's called a rebate. But yeah, so many different words mean the same thing. But no, thank you so much. Though I mean, we really appreciate you kind of coming up and joining us. This is kind of what we do. As the days go on, a lot of people who have been up before come on up and everything. But we just kind of chill. People come on up. We like to talk to them. Absolutely. Really? Wow. Wow. Well, we stay right up here.
Well, we also mingle downstate.
Yeah, so yeah, we do have sometimes where we step away and people that we know show up and
If we're not
take
giggling,
photos and
it's because we're up here.
but yeah, no, it's a fun time. So if you're still around, for the rest, you said Sunday is when it's coming out. So if you want to come up and chat again to talk about your experiences, feel free to come back on up. We really appreciate it. Good luck with the film. We wish you the best. But guys, for us, we're going to continue Sunscreen Day 2, a continuation of interviews, a lot more to come, a lot more days to go. This only day 2. We got 2 more days to go on. Super excited about it. But until then, for Movie Talks and Chill, we're your hosts. I'm Tony Serrano.
I'm Gavin Butts.
And to our special guest.
Bye.
All right, guys, take care.